Whenever we get a 1940s car in Lemons, it's an event to celebrate.
Yeah, that's right. We say to people all the time, like, hey, you should bring a 1941 Dodge Kingsway, and then they show up with a Miata. It's weird.
Yeah, but to be fair, maybe racing a 1940s car is best reserved for veteran Lemons teams, like Low Road Racing in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, now Team Captain Trapper, you may remember him from a previous 5 Questions video. He's got a lot of cool stuff. He's got a mini NASCAR Pontiac Sunbird J body. He's got a Mustang II Rainier Beer Endurance Racer. He's got good stuff.
Yeah, and despite all of that interesting stuff, for a race at the Ridge in Washington, they brought easily their oldest Lemons car so far, the 1947 Chevy Stylemaster.
The Stylemaster was found in a typical Lemons venue of up to its axle buried in a farm, and it was purchased for a typical Lemons price of free.
Yeah, of course, the drivetrain was completely locked up. Once they went through the whole car and took inventory, they realized they were looking at a full swap of both the running gear and all of the suspension.
Now, when you're building a 40s automobile for endurance road racing, the Lemons judges will give you a lot of leeway on the mechanicals. So this car is chock full of modern running gear.
Now, by modern, do you mean a Turbo Thrift 250 inline 6 from a 74 Nova?
No. I mean a Turbo Thrift 250 inline 6-cylinder from a 1974 Buick Apollo. Why, you rude classic. And for performance duty, Trapper also did the 1-barrel to 2-barrel J.C. Whitney carburetor conversion using an adapter from a Chrysler.
Right, so you've got a Stylemaster, which should have come with a stove bolt, but now it's got a 2-barrel Turbo Thrift. Behind that is a 5-speed manual from a 91 Jeep Comanche, a drive shaft from the pile of Mustang II race spares, and the rear diff from an 82 Jag XJ6.
Yeah, somewhere in their travels, Low Road had procured a couple of old derelict Jaguar XJ6s, as though there's any other kind. And it turns out that the IRS rear, the whole front subframe, all of that stuff, dimensionally quite a bit like a 40s Chevrolet. So a few adapter plates, a couple of bolts left over from Home Depot, I don't know, somehow they made the thing into a car. It's a Chevrolet-bodied, Chevrolet chassised quasi-Jaguar.
And there's a bunch of other random stuff to tie the rest of the car together, including a starter, clutch, and flywheel from a Chevy P30 step van. You got a radiator from a Porsche 928, and the throttle pedal assembly from a Subaru Forester.
Going into this car's first race, it was also the first race of a certain road racing Edsel, and we thought this was going to be a head-to-head battle, but in fact, the Edsel turned out to be painfully, devastatingly slow, and this car, kinda not so much.
Yeah, it was faster than a Peugeot 505, faster than a Fiat X19, and within a few tenths of a real race car, a stock Toyota Paseo automatic driven by high school kids.
By 1947 standards, it's basically a GT40 now. So, well, admittedly, it's probably a better idea for your very first Lemons race to, have a Miata or a... You still could be a little bit daring and just go on eBay Motors and, look for a 1947 Stylemaster.
Lemon's own tech boss and fab expert John Pagel from Evil Genius Racing did the cage on this very Stylemaster. Apparently, the main hoop used a longer single piece of tube than any of the countless other roll cages John has built, but most importantly, he kept those measurements, so when you get your own Stylemaster, John will be ready.
Every second you don't subscribe or watch one of these videos, another Vega is sent to the crusher. Won't you help us save Classic?